Hello students, welcome to Charte Group of Education. In this video, we'll revise the 3 chapters revision points or the key points. The chapter 3, Applied History, then chapter 5, Mass Media and History, and the chapter 7, Sports and History. See, already we seen the 2 chapters key points, means first and second. Now I told you that in this lecture we are discussing the key points of the 3 chapters. So we'll start with the help of some points. See, chapter 3, Applied History. I think we know the word what is meant by application or applied. Means day-to-day life we are using something, we are using our knowledge, we are using our experiences in our day-to-day life. Now we are thinking how history is used in our day-to-day life. Always we are having some ambitions, we are having some aim and objective. Somebody wants to become engineer, somebody wants to become doctor. But what about history? How we are using history in our day-to-day life? So this year you are having the one most important lesson known as applied history. Means you can use the history's knowledge in your day-to-day life. So we'll start with the help of these points, our revision. Chapter 3, Applied History. It is also said as public history. Means the history's knowledge or the knowledge of history or the experiences or the events related to history we can use in our day-to-day life. Means it is just having correlation between contemporary and the future. See, it is, I told that applied history is also known as public history. So application of history. Then field of research in applied history. Some fields are there which are very important while studying the history. Before that, I have to tell you that Srushti Institute of Art and Design and Technology, which is established in the city of Bangalore in Karnataka, which is also having the one most important institute for the applied history for this department. It means whatever the study about the art and the culture and the tradition in this historical manner about the ancient, the medieval and the present, means in the modern. So whatever that art, then culture, the tradition, we can take information and we can have knowledge with the help of this institution. So now we are going to see about the field of research in applied history. A, philosophy, ideologies. See, while understanding or while studying, while coming across with the philosophy, it is very important to understand first of all ideology. Philosophical foundation, it is very important in the form of history. In the ancient period, about Jainism, about Buddhism, about their preachings, about their teachings, as well as many kind of principles related to these philosophical foundation. So in the history, we all those things are studying. Means here ideologies are important in the philosophy. Next we have science. A systematic and schematic study of any subject, that is called science. It means in the science, system and scheme is very important. So while understanding the history of any science or any kind of scientific branch, give preference for inventions and discoveries. See, some scientists, they discovered something, they invented something. So while understanding this science, while understanding this scientific method, it is very important, give preference for these inventions and discoveries. Some examples are related to that. Wright brothers invented aeroplane. Then Charles Babbage invented computer. Next we have that Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity. Means these kinds of inventions and discoveries are very important while understanding the science or the scientific method here. Next we have technology. Means this is the next important aspect or the field or the branch of applied history. Technology. In technology, what is important? Mechanization. Mainly science and technology, both these are very important, or it is also said as two sides of one coin. It means while understanding the technology of any gadget, of any appliance, or of any instrument, mechanization is the most important thing. Next we have trade and commerce management. Buying and selling goods and service, it is known as trade. It is an economical activity. It means the trade between two countries, or the commerce between two or among the countries, the trade between two regions. So while preparing the trade relation, and means while forming the trade relation, it is very important to give preference to the management. It means management is the key point of this trade and commerce of the country or of any region. Next we have art, culture and traditions. See, many historians, they contributed about writing the history, about writing the culture, about writing the literature, about writing the tradition of glorious India. So it is just a joining, it is just a connecting the human life in the perspective of art, isn't it? So here we are understanding the Rajasthani culture and the the Maharashtrian culture, the Assami culture, and many more culture and tradition. Next we have humanities. You can say in the humanities many branches are there: sociology, anthropology, mythology. So these are many branches. While studying the history in the form of these humanities, having some branches. So humanities, origin of various disciplines. As I told, discipline means branches. Already by the first chapter we have studied about the numismatics, archaeology, anthropology, and then mythology, and many more things. So next we have as I told, sociology, mythology, study of archaeology. These disciplines are very important in the form of humanities. Next we have cultural heritage. What is meant by heritage here? See, whatever by the earlier generation given some important the depository, the things, or in the form of monument or something, so it is known as heritage. So we are giving something to our next generation, so it is called heritage. So in India, some places or some things which are considered in the cultural and natural heritage sites. So see, cultural heritage mainly it is having two aspects or two types, that is tangible. In the tangible, what it comes, see, example, paintings, buildings, means here we can see. In the tangible we can see this kind of a culture of any region, of any country, or of any area. You can see the painting of Mona Lisa, you can see the building, okay, means Burj Khalifa, building in Arabia. Like that way, many kind of historical monuments or artifacts which are kept in the archive or in a museum. So those are the parts of tangible cultural heritage. Next we have intangible cultural heritage. It is example, customs, tradition, traditional knowledge, the various types of languages. It means customs, traditions, rituals, or the traditional knowledge which is related to a particular region, which is related to a particular country. So all those components which comes under the intangible cultural heritage. Next we have natural heritage. UNESCO, I think we know UNESCO. It means this is an important affiliated organ or an organization which is affiliated, which is related to the United Nations. So UNESCO just declared some sites which are cultural and natural in India. So those sites and those examples, those places which are given a list in your textbook, you can see that. So natural heritage which are very important means example, flora. Flora means vegetation. See, mainly Assam is the good example of biodiversity. So the flora of any place or of any region. Next we have fauna. Fauna means related to wildlife. So aquatic animals, microorganisms, then birds, reptiles. So all these the parts of the biodiversity which is contained into the fauna. Then ecology, or the geomorphic system or something like that way, which comes under the natural heritage. Next we have Indian Museum of Kolkata. It means studying about the Indian culture, studying about the Indian tradition. So for that purpose, the one most important museum started in Kolkata in Bengal in India. So next, National Archives of India, which is established in Delhi, means in capital of in India. So as I told, Indian Museum that founded by Asiatic Society 1814. Then main department means of this Indian Museum of Kolkata was of art and archaeology. Okay, means mainly it is given preference about the art and the archaeological system. So here we completed the revision of chapter 3. Now we are moving to the chapter 5, mass media and history. What is meant by mass and what is meant by media? Mass means people or public, and media means modes of communication. Where we are getting the news, where we are getting the information. So many kinds of modes of communication which are present in our day-to-day life in the society. So see the mass media and the history. See, modes of communication, already I told you, it is said that media. See, in the earlier period, inscription of royal decrees which were at the public places, and then the people were understanding about some important news which gave the orders given by the kings or the emperor. So these kinds of news, how it is spread, it means which ways, which means spreading the knowledge or the information. And nowadays, so with the help of all those things we are studying, already we studied by this chapter, we are revising. See, circulating information with the help of newspaper. Newspaper is called as the fourth column of democracy. I think we know what is meant by democracy. By the people, for the people and of the people. This is a system which any country accepted for country running in the smooth manner. So newspaper is called as the fourth column of democracy. It is a print media. Having a picture, you will understand as well as you are reading daily newspapers which is coming in your house. Next we have Bengal Gazette, James Augustus Hickey in the period of 1780. It means first time during the British period or during the British era, the one most important newspaper came in Indian society and by the readers which were understanding about the news and what is happening in the corner of India by this newspaper. James Augustus Hickey, Bengal Gazette in the period of 1780. Next we have Darpan, Bal Shastri Jambekar, 1832. It means this was also the one most important newspaper which was started by Bal Shastri Jambekar. Next, Prabhakar Bahumajan. It means showing some important historical, political, economical, these kinds of the events and the happenings in Indian society. So those things were depicted by the print media, by the newspapers during that period. Next, Patrakar Din, 6 January. Means related to the birth or the birth anniversary of Bal Shastri Jambekar. In India, we are celebrating Patrakar Din on 6th January. Next we have Dinabandhu Krishnarao Valekar. It was related to the news of the mass or of the Bahujan Samaj. Next, Kesari and Maratha, Gopal Ganesh Agarkar and Lokmanya Tilak. It means awakening to the people as well as social awakening, political awakening. For that purpose, whatever the demands of Indian society during that period, those demands, those complaints which we are keeping in front of British government. So for this purpose and for social awakening, Gopal Ganesh Agarkar and Lokmanya Tilak, I think we know that discontent, father of discontent India. So both they came together and started Kesari and Maratha newspapers. Next we have Pragati Trembak Shankar Sejwalkar. It was a defunct journal during that period. Next we have AIR, All India Radio, earlier it was named as IBC, Indian Broadcasting Company. Then it renamed after some years that ISBS, and then eventually it renamed as All India Radio, and by the suggestion of Pandit Narendra Sharma, it was named as Akashvani. I think you can see the logo, or you can see the picture, you will understand how this air is yet working and just broadcasting the daily programs for us. Next we have introduced color television. I think we are familiar with this word television. It is also said in our day-to-day life TV. It is sometimes also said as an idiot box, but we are getting more and more information or educational, political, social and the cultural and the sports with the help of television. So first time introduction of this color television in the period of 15th August 1982. So this was a kind of a new invention in the Indian history. Next we have discovery of India, Pandit Nehru, that Bharat Ek Khoj. Discovery of India, that was the one most important book which was wrote, means this book by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, our former or our first Prime Minister, and the serial is based on that. It is named as Bharat Ek Khoj. It means it was directed by Shyam Benegal, and some important aspects were also depicted by this serial Bharat Ek Khoj. Some the events are related to Harappan civilization, then Mauryan period, and then about the Mughal era, and then 1857 uprising. Means all these kinds of events or the happenings which were the part of this Bharat Ek Khoj. So this serial it was just continued for many years. So here we completed the revision of chapter 5th, and now we are moving to chapter 7, sports and history. I think we are familiar with this word sports and games. See, by the sports and games, what we are getting, what we are obtaining, mainly it is giving some important some kinds of benefits or advantages to us. Mainly by playing games or enjoying the sports, our body and mind is refreshing. Then overcoming pain or sorrows of us, means we are getting relaxation about our whatever the pains and sorrows in our day-to-day life. Then having a good physical exercise, building a strong and tenacious body. Then it is just building team spirit in us. Then cooperation, means how to cooperate to our team members, okay, or the another sport person. So all these aspects are very important while we are playing any game or the sport. So we are moving to the pictures and we are understanding how these games and sports are played in India from the ancient period. See, ancient games, dice, I think we know that in Mahabharata how dice was played and how then afterwards started the various kinds of transitions. So dice, then wrestling, horse chariot, then races and chase. Sometimes there are two types in the sports or games, indoor games and outdoor games. Means some games are played in the inside, means in the four walls inside in the house, and then some games which are played on the playground. So there is a little bit difference. So you can see with the help of pictures you will understand. Next, qualities for good sports person. So which qualities, which important values for an ideal sport person? Here given: sportsmanship, then courage and determination. Strong determination, then courage, and then sportsmanship. These 3 to 4 qualities are very important for every sportsman or for every player. Next we have Indian games, Indian Ludo, then Sagar Gote, means mainly these games are played by girls. Sagar Gote with the help of pebbles and marbles. Bhatukli, mainly by small girls, this game is played. Lagori, mainly by boys. Then Gilli Dandu or Gilli Danda. Next we have Bhingri, Jimma Pugdi, mainly in the festivals, fair and festival. These Jimma Fugdi is also played by the girls. Kho-kho, then Kabaddi, these are outdoor games. Then Langdi. By playing these games, the children, they are just getting overcome about the pains and worries whatever in their day-to-day life. So playing games and sports is the one most important part of our life. See, you can see with the help of the pictures, you will understand the games. International games. As like Indian games, as like ancient games, there are also some games which are present at the international level. So see, international games: cricket, football, badminton, table tennis, hockey, golf and polo. So these important international games are also played at the international level. Next we have some adventurous games or the sports, you can say: ice skating, skiing, ice hockey, auto racing and gliding, or you can consider as paragliding. It means mainly these are adventurous games where we can show adventure. See, in the world some important sports competitions are also present: Olympics, then Paralympic, then Rashtrakull means Asiad Games, then Wimbledon matches and golf and then chess competitions. So mainly sportsmen who are participating here, they have to show the talent or ability, whatever they are having ability and the talent in them. So this is a kind of a platform for each and every sportsman. So by this way they are also getting the fame and popularity, and they are also getting their livelihood. So some sports movies means some movies which are based on this sports matter: Dangal, Mary Kom, Chak De India and Pele. For preparing or for forming any movie which is based on sport, what things are needed here? See, some important aspects are needed here, means while preparing a movie for a producer or for a director, that is deep study. Then story, means the story should be appropriate of any sportsman if it is based. Then social life of that sports person as well as of during that period. Then language, means in which language the movie is forming or creating. Then dressing style. It means all these aspects are very important while preparing any movie which is based on the sports activity. See, there is a correlation between toys and festivals. See, the small children and the young generation which are also affiliated, which are also fascinated towards the toys. So mainly glimpse of it gives glimpse of religious and cultural tradition. Okay, means mainly whatever the correlation between toys and festivals, it gives glimpse of religious related to religion and cultural related to culture traditions, and then whatever the clay images and model of forts, Indian children, they are just giving preference about showing the talent and ability in this way. Next we have the first Indian cricketer to pioneer cricket commentary, Bal J Pandit or Bal J Pandit. It means first time in Indian history his name is written in the golden words. Why? Because he contributed about the commentary about cricket game. Whatever his commentary was also famous and popular during that period. So people were just eagerly waiting about his commentary, and he was just writing records related to the cricket about cricketers and whatever the things were important. So his commentary was also well known and playing a very crucial role in this way. So as I told that games and sports played a very important role in this way in our life. So playing a game, playing a sport, it is also giving boost and energy to our body. So here we completed the revision of this chapter. Thank you.